Hi, Kiai Palayo here, and today I want to talk about two events. One, the nomination of Kevin Warsh to be the new Fed chair, and we'll see if he actually makes it through the confirmation process. And number two, a conversation that I overheard on one of the business news shows about how the Trump administration is working on weakening the dollar. And I want to tie those two things together and then talk about what the impacts potentially are going to be to Oahu real estate. So Kevin Warsh was appointed last week to, or nominated to be the next Fed chair. And how is he going to be different than Jerome Powell? Well, in 2006, he was the youngest Fed governor appointed, and he actually resigned in 2011 because he disagreed with many of the things that the Fed was doing, most notably the fact that they had what they called quantitative easing, which was the Fed was buying government-backed securities and holding them as a way to stabilize the economy, and he did not agree with this, so he resigned in 2011. Now, why does that have impact today? Well, as Fed chair, he's probably going to oppose buying government-backed securities, which could mean lower interest rates because the Fed is not holding so much debt. Are you with me? So we could see lower interest rates, and the reason he wants lower interest rates is that helps small and medium-sized businesses grow, which means more jobs. The other thing that he's working on, and he's in past articles written about, is the idea that the Fed needs to tailor itself to support mid-size and small banks. What does this mean in English? It means he's for competition in banks. Right now we have these huge banks that have been consolidating. And what that does is that concentrates power in a bunch of very large institutions. By incentivizing mid to smaller banks and their growth, we could see competition. We could see competition for lower interest rates. And all of that is good for real estate and good for growth in the United States. Now, how does this tie into what I heard on Fox Business about 3 days ago? Well, they were talking about how the president, Trump, is positioning the United States to have a weaker dollar. Now, why would he want to do that? Well, have you heard that he's wanting to reestablish our manufacturing and industrial base? Well, if we have a weaker dollar, it means that our exports become less costly, and also it means that imports become more costly. So in sense, building manufacturing here and having things made here and having jobs made in the United States of America. And that means other countries could build them here, our own entrepreneurs could build them here, but it supports this idea of reindustrialization and makes us more competitive as an exporter in the world. And when you look at the past, when Hawaii real estate, tying that to Hawaii real estate has done well, it's when the dollar was weaker. Why? Because when the Japanese yen was stronger, they could come here and buy Hawaii real estate and drive up real estate values. Now, I know if you want to own a house in Hawaii, that's not good, but if you already own real estate, probably a good idea to hang on to it in the short to mid-term, because I think you could see other forces coming into our market, because Hawaii real estate in specific, and more generally U.S. real estate, will be more affordable for outside buyers, from foreign buyers from other countries. The other thing that you'll see is if we get lower interest rates, well, that means more buying power for local buyers, and you could see that add fuel to our Oahu real estate market. Lower interest rates, if we have more tourism coming in from Japan, coming in from other countries, Korea, coming in from who knows where, whoever the new nouveau riche are, we could see the Hawaii economy take off. As the economy takes off, people earn more. Lower interest rates means more buying power. More earning power means more buying power. And what does that mean for a limited supply of real estate? It means that we could see values move up in the midterm. And I'm a bull long term, obviously. And I think that if you buy a piece of real estate today, 10 years from now, you're not going to regret it in buying here on Oahu. Also, 20 years from now. So, but you're going to see, I think, lower interest rates, more travel to Hawaii. And because we have a limited number of houses for sale, you might see pressure on condominiums also for their values to rise. And overall, I think these things are going to be good things for Hawaii real estate. Now, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to me in all of the ways that are available to you. And in the meantime, you have a great day.